Welcome back, everybody. This is their second episode. So, I want to tell you a little bit about what we've done this week. I've got some videos coming up in regards to that. We'll add them on to here. Basically, it's just going to be a video of what we've done all week and what I'm working on today. What I'm working on today, our ambulance is out and about, so I can't really do a whole lot of work on it. However, I am working on something else. Our pickup truck, what pulls this beautiful trailer right back here. We are going to, I'm going to show you how I'm going to make it so that I don't always have to pull the trailer behind me. I can set it up to where I can run bubbles just from the truck. In the long run, it'll help me save on some gas, not having to pull the heavy trailer. It'll help me get into smaller spaces that I have a little bit of trouble getting into when I am pulling a trailer, or the ambulance is just a little bit too big or too tall. So we're going to be doing that. So I'll show you a little bit about what we're working with and how we're going to do that. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be setting this beautiful truck up to be able to run bubbles. Right now it's still hooked to the trailer, as you can see there. I'm going to set up a work area with the scaffolding and everything that you've seen on our ambulance and seen on our trailer. I'm going to set it up so that this beautiful truck right here, a 2015 Nissan Titan, got a lot of miles, but she has been doing such a fantastic job for me so far. I think she's got a lot of life left in her, and I'm gonna go ahead and get her set up. All right, guys, so I've got my stuff laid out. This is essentially what we're going to be putting onto the back of this beautiful truck. It's the AA Products Inc. is who made it. We got it off of Amazon. Here are the parts that I do have laid out. I left some of those in the box so that I don't lose anything, like the screws and all the little things to attach to the truck. Sorry, that box isn't quite all the way open, but this is it. It came in a very small box, and yeah, I am listening to music, so I have something to hear while I'm doing all this. But it's pretty hot out here. That's why I kind of sound already. I just came out. It's just blooming hot. But this is all the parts that I'm going to be using. So you'll see it as I get it together. I'm going to actually disconnect the truck from the trailer, I think, so that it's a little easier to move around. But here we go. I'm getting ready to start putting it together. I'll do some videos as we go along. All right, I'm jumping back on here because I'm perfectly fine with making a little bit of fun of myself. So it's been about 10-15 minutes, and I finally got step one done, which is just connecting these two pieces. However, took me a minute to understand the instructions, which most people would say it's pretty straightforward, doofus. But I'm not exactly the best at following directions. You can ask my wife about that. I did end up putting all the screws and everything out so that when I look at the type of screw that I need, I'm not trying to dig through that little box to figure out what it is exactly that I need, and the different sizes and whatnot, and the bolts looking kind of similar, just different lengths. But got that set up. That took about 5-10 minutes to get all those pulled out and organized, and then putting all this together. So yeah, it took a little bit longer than it should have, but like I said, I'm okay with making fun of myself. It shouldn't have taken that long, but I'm gonna keep on keeping on and move on to the next step. Okay, guys, is anybody familiar with the term measure twice, cut once? Well, I'm not that guy, and as I was putting this together, I said, I know I'm probably doing something that's not quite right. So if you look at this, you might be able to already tell what I did wrong. So I'm getting ready to redo it. It's not going to be too hard. It's only 4 bolts that I gotta take off and put back together. However, if you didn't notice it yet, if you look at this part right here, this right here, this right here, well, this one and this one need to flip-flop. This one and this one need to flip-flop. This little tongue right here is supposed to be on the inside of the truck, not the outside. And as I was putting it together, I didn't notice it until I sat them right up there, right on the truck, and I was like, that's not gonna work right. You did something wrong. All right, let me get those flip-flopped and I'll be right back. All right, finally. Took a few tries, but man, I'm just not hitting the obvious, I don't think, because I needed the feet to go in towards each other. I needed to spread out bigger at the bottom than the top. I was struggle busting that one the whole time, but finally I got it together, got it the way I want it. At least one thing I did learn a long time ago is you never make everything completely tight until it's time. So until you're, ready for it to stay where it's going to stay. So glad I didn't put anything in there super tight. And now that part is done. Moving on to the next steps. Hopefully the next sight that you see, if I'm not making fun of myself, is the fact that it'll be up on the back of the truck. It's up and attached to the truck. I've ran the battery out of my music, made a few mistakes, but hey, I got there. I don't know about those things on the top. They might come on, they might stay on, they might come off. I don't know. I have to see how I feel. But it's good, it's sturdy. I could shake the whole truck doing that. Probably not a good thing to do, but it is up, it is good. And we are rocking. Next thing we got is, well, honestly, next thing I gotta do is mow my grass. And you can hear a weed eater in the background right now. That's somebody else doing theirs. But yeah, next thing is mow the grass, and then we put a scaffolding like this on there. That'll be the next step. But before that, gotta get that grass mowed. All right, guys, I'm actually throwing in the towel for tonight. Ran into a few different issues just trying to get the scaffold up there, and yeah, didn't work out tonight. Realized I didn't have everything I quite needed. I was hoping to get a little bit farther today. However, we do have this part up, and there's a couple things, there's one thing in particular that I know is going to be on there that's going to drive me nuts. But nobody else will know unless I actually tell them what it is. But this part is up, it is in, and like I said, I won't be able to, I am not going to honestly get back to it probably before this video comes out. So, might work on it Saturday. The video's coming out on Sunday, so we'll see where we get to with that. But anyway, I am calling it a night, and we will see you next time on our next adventure. We've had lots of cool events this week. This first event, this is our parade setup. What we typically do is we'll take the truck, we'll take the trailer. We attach the cannon that we have to the top of the trailer and have it firing into the bed of the truck. It's a pretty cool effect. Typically, we allow to have like kids sitting in the back of the truck so that they can show the fun that they are having. Set up our generator in the front. I've still got to build a little piece in there so that it's not getting quite so covered in bubbles, but it is a pretty cool effect. It's usually very popular with the crowds. As you can see there, we were just doing some testing with it, which is something you have to do when we're getting ready to do one of these events. This event was pretty cool. This was a donated event that we did for somebody that was just recently diagnosed with brain cancer, and the community came together and was nice enough to donate their time and things that they offer. After the parade, we went up to a local park by their house, and we went ahead and ran some bubbles for them. Unfortunately, the day wasn't the most nice day. We had a little bit of rain, had lots of wind. The bubbles weren't perfect, but this little group of folks had an amazing time. The person that we were doing the parade for is currently playing in those bubbles. She had an amazing time and she loved it. This is a short event that we did at a daycare. It doesn't last very long. We don't show a lot of we don't show the kids playing at these. This one, on the other hand, this was a birthday party. We love doing these birthday parties. Sometimes we pull up to the end of the driveway and shoot bubbles into the driveway or the yard. This one, they closed off the end of the cul-de-sac. The family got together with all the neighbors and decided to make it a full block party right here. A quick little efficient block party. It's another one of the events that we absolutely love to do, and the kids absolutely love it for sure. This is another daycare event, so you're not going to see any kids here, but what it does is show off some of the ways that we do have to work around challenges. There is a fence around the place where they wanted us to do it, so we shoot a cannon over to it. It's just as fun for the kids, and it gives the opportunity for us to do a party along with, while we're doing it, they can stay corralled in their little pool area. What you're going to see next is in between the kids coming out, instead of just firing a whole bunch of bubbles, I do this little effect. I call it the bubble snow. It's super cool. It makes a cool effect. And it still continues while before they come out. It continues to pile on the bubbles. Up next is you're going to see we went out to another event. This was a community event, a big festival brought by the community. It was called the Taste of Old Dayton. They had some bounce houses. A wrestling group came out and performed their show throughout the night. I'll have a few more pictures of that coming up here. This event was totally amazing. We were set up on a basketball court. We had kids running in and out. We ran for about an hour and a half. You could see here some of the wrestling was happening at this point. A whole festival going on in the background. And, kids were playing basketball on the other end of the court. Back there, it was pretty cool. They were giving away some free food and a whole lot of other stuff happening. Here in just a minute, I walked through the festival to kind of show off everything that was going on. As you can see here, I'm kind of walking through the festival. The community really comes together. There were a lot of places throughout Dayton, Ohio that came together. They volunteered their time. You can go through, you can read all the different places, a lot of the Children's Hospital, a whole lot of places came out and showed support. A lot of Dayton comes out and shows, all the public stuff that happens. I wish I would have gotten a picture of the water truck. That thing was a savior. It was a pretty warm day, and they brought out, all those ducks were pretty awesome too. That was a very warm day, and water definitely was needed for sure. Very, very much appreciated, absolutely. But yeah, as you can see, a whole lot of other places came out. This was like a book fair type piece that you just saw. Some giveaways. I was just walking very quickly through this. It was a pretty busy event, so I didn't want to distract too many people or bother too many people. But yeah, this was a lot of fun, an amazing event. It's amazing what the community can do when they all come together. I'm almost to the end here of just the people that came out. Goodwill was there, as you can see. We're just kind of walking through and taking a lot of pictures. Once I get up here towards the end, there's a couple more here. We'll talk about the food vendors that were coming out. The amazing thing that was going on is the food vendors that came out. It is called the Taste of Old Dayton. Now, these two vendors right here, they were just regular vendors. You had to buy their food. However, once I get the corner turned here, all these vendors were giving away little samples. Super cool. That line you see right there, those were for the walking tacos. That one stayed like that the whole time. They made you a fresh walking taco, didn't charge anything for it. So that was pretty awesome. I can't remember all of them, but they all had a lot of great food. They would just have you um, taste what they had. This is, like I said, it's the taste of old Dayton. So they were just giving out a little sample. Um, up here shortly, you'll see one that we're giving like a little chicken tostada type deal. Oh, it was so good. One of the guys had the beans and rice. It was pretty amazing, but that's pretty much it. And then as we were getting through the event, we had some kids doing some bubble angels, which was super cool. That's what we're showing there. This hail is nuts. All right, guys, you guys got that last little bit with zero context. I had just finished up doing 2 parties on Friday and I was on my way home. When I got onto the interstate, it was like I was traveling into the darkness. Traffic stopped, hail came in, it was raining so hard nobody could see, so everybody just stopped. And that little tidbit that you saw right there, that's what it sounded like in the truck. It was actually very much louder. I thought it was going to bust the window or dent up my truck. Very lucky it did not. So we lived to find another day, but the events both went off without a hitch. I didn't take any pictures, didn't do any video. They were both at different daycares and whatnot. And as I've mentioned before, we don't do a whole lot of pictures, especially when they come out right away and they're ready to go. So that's how that one goes. I do want to say thank everybody for watching this video. Please don't be afraid. Like, subscribe, share to your friends. We need to try to see if we can really get this thing taken off and get some subscribers and come out to our Facebook page. It's TK Entertainment LLC. Hit the notification bell so that you also get the notifications when we do another one. We're going to try to do about 1 a week. And also, we are coming up towards the end of our bubble season. So we'll start showing you how we're preparing to go into our next phase. Hopefully we get some DJ stuff that we can share with you, some karaoke stuff, a lot more different things that TK Entertainment offers. Right now it's just the bubble season, so that's what takes up a lot of our time. All right, guys, until next time, we will see you on our next adventure.